Bada bing, bada boom. Hello, one and all. Welcome back. Well, welcome for the first time, I should say, to the Sonic Heroes Team Chaotix LTS tournament. How are we all doing today? I hope you're all looking forward to the start of this massive tournament, to be quite frank. We've got a whole host of entrants, 24 in total, and we are looking for who is going to come out on top here today in our opening match between two very long names taking up the entirety of the spaces that they've been given. We've got Pokemon Master 888 and Vintage McNugget. Everybody is well familiar with these two if you're in and around the Heroes community. Vintage, a very frequent runner, particularly in Rose LTS, and Pokemon Master has been on the scene for some time. These two coming up against each other for the second time in recent memory, because this is actually a pretty feisty rematch between these two. Faced off against each other in the Rose LTS tournament last year. Or maybe that might have even been earlier this year. No, it's 2023. I'm getting my years mixed up. Ignore me. That was last year, and Pokemon Master came out with an upset victory. So Vintage here is looking to bring it back and kick off his tournament and the tournament in style. So, going to be very interesting to see here. This tournament got a very interesting format, particularly in these group stages. This is a match taking place in Group D, which is a Swiss format, which means that the opponents for each round are decided as the matches come and go. So the winner of this match will play the winner of another match, the loser of this match will play the loser of another match, so on and so forth. If you want to figure out and take a little bit more of a deeper look into all of that, you can do the pools command or the schedule command to have a little bit of a final look into who's going to be playing who. But yeah, my name is Tethys. Should have introduced myself by now. I am joined by Black Doom on commentary, who is just away for a little bit. Hello, we've got Black Doom. How are we doing?
I'm doing great. I'm very excited for this tournament. Sonic Heroes is one of my favorite Sonic games, so I'm all for this tournament.
Yeah, 100%. Absolutely. It's going to be a real spectacle, because Team Chaotix, I wouldn't say it's like the fringe category of heroes by any stretch of the imagination, I'd say probably Team Dark at this point is the one that gets the least love, unfortunately, but Team Chaotix definitely... Hello, Vincent. Hello, Vincent. Hello. Team Chaotix has definitely been on the rise in recent times, that's for sure. Where is blood going? Definitely.
Vintage is going places.
Definitely been on the rise in recent times, as Rose was. It's been really cool to see Sonic Heroes' categories being grow more and more as recent times have come and gone. And Team Chaotix now has its time to shine with this here tournament. These two, it's going to be interesting because their PBs, just looking at the leaderboard, Pokemon Master is the one with the better PB. But Vintage, Vintage has got a lot of experience with heroes, so we could definitely see him put up a good fight here. It's going to be an interesting one, for sure. We've seen Pokemon Master in a couple of these tournaments before, so experience when it comes to racing. And Vintage, on the other hand, is on the stage select screen, so he's a little confused, but he got the spirit,
Yeah, at the very least, he's got the right game running, so...
That's all you can ask for, really. I must say, Vintage, and I quote him here, said roughly 15 to 20 minutes ago, "I've done really good. I'm all set up. I'm proud of myself." And as of right now, we are delayed by 12 minutes due to Vintage tech issues, so... Interesting. Very interesting. But anyway, looks like we're just about getting underway. Vintage loading up into a file now. He also may or may not have gone to get a sandwich. I can't confirm this. But both of our runners are on the screen, the team select screen now. And we should be getting ourselves underway very shortly. Kicking off the Team Chaotix limited tech selection tournament. We've got that beautiful Home Depot font underneath the Team Chaotix logo. I'm looking forward to this.
So Tethys brought up this very funny abbreviation LTS, which, in case you don't know, like if you've never seen, if you've never heard of Sonic Heroes speedrunning, LTS stands for Limited Text Selection, which essentially means no major glitches. We will see a few funky things happening, but nothing crazy, nothing really game breaking.
Yeah, we've got the two types of categories with heroes. We've got unrestricted, which basically means everything is on the table. You can do whatever you want. And then LTS, which is, in some instances, the more popular category, which is an interesting one. Perhaps just because it's easier to get into. There's less sort of stuff you need to do to push it. But with Chaotix, and Rose especially, I've seen those two have definitely been the categories where LTS has been more prevalent.
Yeah, to be fair, like it's not uncommon when quote unquote glitches scare away some people, so yeah, it's understandable.
Yeah, that's very true. So we'll see. It's interesting how this and Shadow seem to kind of go hand in hand with the glitchless categories being the more popular of the two. But here we go, we've got our nice new layout, we've adjusted the contrast so we can actually see the timers. We're chilling, we're here with Pool D, Round 1, to see who can kick off their tournament. Vintage starting his timer early, as is the norm. Pokemon Master following up behind. One of these runners on emulator, one of them on hardware. So Vintage, I think we're doubling up on the RTA timers here, so we're not actually going to have an accurate time for Vintage until the run is finished. But we are going to be...
Vintage is the one on emulator, actually.
Yeah, Vintage is the one on emulator. But we are both using RTA timers. We got a little sync up here from our restream.
Right.
And we're off and underway.
So Team Chaotix is kind of an interesting team in Sonic Heroes in that the levels actually are based on like missions. A lot of them are like collectathon kind of stuff. So in level 1 we have to collect 10 hermit crabs to beat the level. Now it's interesting that in a lot of those kind of collecting stages there are more like of those things that you can collect. Like for example, in this stage there are a total of 20 hermit crabs. But for like sort of normal mission we're only grabbing the first 10 of them. And Vintage and Pokemon Master are both on Crab 7 already. Like, I just was trying to explain, like, what is going on, then they're almost done with this stage. It's crazy fast.
Yeah, both getting off to a really good, strong start here. Picking up that 10th Hermit Crab there now. It's an interesting change of pace from the rest of the stories, which is Rose, Dark, and Team Sonic are basically normal, easy, and hard mode, so to say, but Team Chaotix is the funky mode, so to say. And we're seeing two very similar times there, kicking us off, 103 and 104, so not much separating the runners, getting things underway here. We have the Vintage Cam on the bottom, the trademark Vintage Cam, where most of the time the bottom half of his face is cut off. It all depends on how much focus we're putting in. But we're kicking off Ocean Palace here, second stage of the run. This one, a bit more traditional. It is still a mission, but the mission is effectively get this one thing at the end of the stage. So for all intents and purposes, Ocean Palace is more or less just to get to the goal stage for Team Chaotix, which we don't see a lot of, so interesting. We're going to see the runners just kind of bombard their way through the stage here. We see Vintage with a little bit of a hiccup there, I think, accidentally taking a bit longer to get through, so small little advantage for Pokemon Master, who does take a hit there. Very even start to this race.
Yeah, the sync is always nice to see. Vintage gets the zip, so that's gonna give him a little more time to catch up, I guess. Yeah, it's nice.
Go flying up these areas now.
Nicely done by Pokemon Master. Yeah, you can like kind of do a little shortcut there. It's not that huge, but it's nice.
Yeah, and for
And
those unfamiliar, sorry, go ahead. You were going to say something.
oh yeah. So those flowers like that, both of the runners just used. It's also like a Team Chaotix only thing. They just teleport you to a different part of the stage. In case you've never seen this game before, who knows?
Got a pretty even finish up here again. 123 Ocean Palace for Vintage and a 126 for Pokemon Master. So a little bit of a swing in Vintage's favor. Around about 3 seconds there. Very even early start. But as we were saying, for those unfamiliar, you might see a lot of movement from these runners, which involves using the power character Vector and doing a body slam before quickly changing to Espio. And that's pretty much how most of, or I should say, Rose and Chaotix runs tend to get up to quick top speeds nice and quickly, is using the belly flop maneuver. And yeah, you see a lot of similarities and crossover between Rose and Chaotix because of that, as you see that using Vector to belly flop before switching to SPO gives you a little burst of speed and makes for some nice maneuverability. See Vintage take on the Egg Horn. The Egg Hawk. Egg Hornet is a different game on a 2-sided build.
Yeah, so for this fight, normally you're like supposed to chase this guy until he lands like on this arena where you can actually like fight him. But what the runners do, they backtrack. They get an invincibility power up and use that to their advantage to sort of just damage Egghawk. And they also manipulate him in such a way that he lands much earlier than intended. So like 20 seconds or so, like 20 to 25 seconds is the time that we're probably going to see. Yeah, 20 for Pokemon Master. That's a really nice time.
Absolutely, yeah. Now we're into, I wouldn't say the cult favorite, just the fan favorite stage. At least from outside of a speedrun point of view. I like Grand Metropolis, but the mission objective here with Team Chaotix is, why don't you tell me, Black Doom?
The objective here is to destroy all of the enemies, of which there are 85, I believe. Yeah, 85. So at the bottom right corner of the screen, for a lot of those missions, you can see like a little counter. So that's gonna help our runners because like if you don't realize that you're missing an item in these stages, it's gonna be very, very bad, especially like if you realize it way too late. So it's nice to check.
Absolutely correct. And we're seeing a little bit of a early gain for Vintage here, racking up these enemies nice and quickly using the belly flop. Meanwhile, you see Pokemon Master taking out a nice horde of enemies there with the Thunder Shoot. Did he get that one? No, he didn't. It has to backtrack a little bit. Yeah, so far, still remaining pretty damn even here.
And this stage brings us a great opportunity to talk about how combat in this game works, especially about the level up. So each character can be sort of anywhere from level 0 to level 3. And there are things called power cores that make a certain character stronger. So like blue power core for speed character, red power core for power character, and a yellow power core for flight character. And with each power core, your like the level of a character goes up. And for example, for SPO, with level 0 SPO, you can do 1 damage. With level 1, you can do 2 damage, 2 points of damage. With level 2, you can do 3 points of damage. And level 3 SPO gets wind physics, which we'll see a little bit later in this stage, actually. So getting those power cores is very, very important for this stage in particular. There is a bit of randomness to them. Like you can get power cores from characters, from enemies. I'm sorry, but it's It's from every fifth anime, I believe, not including big enemies, but it's a 50-50 between the other two characters that are not sort of the leading one. But luckily, in this stage, that RNG factor is not that huge. There are plenty of checkpoints and a nice power up right at the beginning of that stage. So
Yeah, we
it's
see
for
both
speed
runners
character.
with
Yeah.
fully leveled up teams, level 3 for all. And it's interesting because I actually forgot just how large the objective was in this stage for 85. And when I saw it, I was kind of like, oh my god, 85. But as is the case, speedrun, you do see both runners racking up those numbers pretty damn quickly, coming towards the final few here. And we're down to around about the last 7. I see Pokemon Master actually edging it out slightly, but we just missed one there.
Yeah. Interesting thing about this stage is actually if you like look up the beta build of this game, there are only
PC version?
83 enemies in this stage. So
Oh dear.
you can't finish this stage normally without
Really?
cheats. Yeah, it's very interesting. Like it leads me to think that Team Chaotix was like a last minute edition of sorts.
That's an interesting theory. I know this game had some interesting development plans. I know they were planning for a couple more teams at some point. I know there was once a plan for a team of Ray, Mighty, and Metal Sonic, if I'm not wrong. But yeah, that never quite came to fruition. What could have been?
Yeah, I believe another interesting difference is that there are a total of 18 hermit crabs in the first stage in that beta. So yeah, you can't beat extra mission for Seaside Hill too. It's interesting.
Kicking off Power Plant, they're going backwards. Similar goal to Grand Metropolis in this one, but much lower on the count. We've got 3 gold turtles to take out. Or I should say, are they called Camerons?
Yeah, they're called Camerons. It's a choice. It's
I guess, sure. Not sure where that name comes from, but sure.
Yeah, one interesting thing about this stage is that this is one of 2 stages where players actually backtrack to get some items needed to complete the stage, and it is faster to backtrack. So like normally you're getting the first 2 turtles like in this stage, and then the 3rd turtle is just so far away that it's faster to backtrack for the first one, actually, which is kind of the last one, but yeah.
That is, I think that's a 103, yeah, so a little bit of time saved back for Vintage there. Lead going back down into the single digits. Really tight start to proceedings here as we come into the Team Dark fight. First of 2 team fights that we get throughout these categories. Usually go by pretty quickly from what I've seen.
Yeah, thankfully those fights have manips of different sorts. So for this one, yeah, they're gonna be jumping off the stage with Charmy, if done correctly, the rival team will just jump out. Unlucky for Vintage, but
Yeah,
he gets
Vintage having
them
a little bit of trouble there.
out pretty quickly.
Important to remember, Vintage is the underdog in terms of PB by about 3 to 4 minutes, so keeping strong early pace here.
Yeah, if you don't get the manip for that fight, it can be very bothersome. Those team fights are very notorious for how janky they are.
Fancy place.
Now, Casino Park is a funny stage. I know there's a glitch in this level that basically lets you rack up the rings very quickly. It's going to be an interesting one to watch play out here as we see Pokemon Master load in. Coming around the side here. For those of you who've been keeping an eye on Sesa sides in the week leading up to this tournament, you will have seen a few of our runners practicing over in the practice room there. That's how I've been seeing a fair bit of my Chaotix knowledge build up in the recent week. And I think it's just this place by here, right, where we just start racking up rings with some sort of funny glitch that we make use of.
But you have to be a very specific distance away from the slot machine for this to work. There is actually like a few slot machines on this table that we can use, but this is LTS, and this is the fastest one to get to with all of the restrictions. I believe in unrestricted they use table launch to get to a slot machine that is on the right side of the table as opposed to this one.
Yeah, I think
It's
I saw
not
Vintage there
that
setting up
faster,
the trick a bit quicker than Pokemon Master, but the time still worked out just about even. But bingo highway time.
another one of those missions where we like collect things. In this case, I believe those are poker chips, which
Yeah, there's a lot of collectathon when it comes to some Chaotix. I'm just trying to think. It's either collect this amount of thing or destroy this amount of thing, really, from what I've seen. I think I like the Egg Fleet one where it's like a stealth mission. That one's pretty cool. But yeah, some of these numbers and the collectathon ones can kind of drag on a little bit, at least in my experience. I think the one that everybody hates is Mystic Mansion.
yeah, there are a few interesting stages. As Chaotix is definitely one of the most notorious teams. It's not difficult per se for a lot of casual players, but it can be very confusing.
I know some funky business takes place with these springs going on by here. What exactly it is, I'm not quite fully aware of, but yeah, we've seen the switching back and forth between the characters there. Doing a little sort of funky bit of stuff, so to say. But we see Pokemon Master edging out with the 7, now 8 chips. 2 more to go. Vintage has a little bit of catching up to do here, but not far behind.
Yeah, so we're probably gonna see Pokemon Master take advantage of how character switching works on pinball tables. Yeah, so when on a pinball table in this game, whenever you switch a character, you actually get teleported sort of to where that character is, instead of vice versa when the character gets teleported to where you are. So that was used by both players in this stage to get those chips a little quicker.
Yeah, we see about an 11 to 12 second lead there added to Pokemon Masters with that stage going by, so it's going to be around about just under 30 seconds as we come into Robot Carnival. Don't know if we're seeing any funny frames. There is a funny frame here, right?
Yeah, you can do it as every team. No funny frame from Pokemon Master, unfortunately.
Vintage gets funny frame!
There it is. But yeah, so the deal with these kind of stages with the robot waves, you have to defeat a robot wave for the next one to appear. And as I was talking about it in Grand Metropolis, combat is very interesting in this game, and our runners will be looking for particular power-ups for their characters. So I believe for this fight, it's you want to have Charmy level 2 and SPL level 2. So Pokemon Master has both. Vintage, on the other hand, has only level 2 SPL. And for the start of this fight, you actually want to level up Charmy first, basically, because there are a lot of enemies that are in the air.
Yeah, definitely.
A bit of RNG here.
Shoot. You can kind of make light work of a lot of things. You see Vintage. Only with a level 2 Charmy so far. Trying to rack up that 3rd level ASAP.
The 3rd level doesn't do much in terms of combat, actually.
No?
It's the same, yeah, for flight characters, it's the same deal. So, like, with level 0, you do 1 damage. With level 1, you do 2 damage. With level 2, you do 3 damage. And then with level 3, you can attract rings when counter shooting. Completely useless in speedrun, so level 2 is what they're going to be looking for.
I see.
Don't get too excited, boys! Those were the easy ones! All right!
There we go, Pokemon Master finishing things up there.
Where Vintage is struggling a little bit. So Vector actually is the only character that kind of gets some benefits from powering up all the way to level 3. At level 3, he shoots those explosive bubble gun things.
Those were the easy ones, I'm told. Mr. President, I've been informed that those were the easy ones. Meanwhile, we load into Rail Canyon. Pretty cool stage. We got the background for it and everything. Nice OST. I wonder what the mission is.
The mission is to get to the goal ring. This is one of those stages that is kind of normal stuff, really, for this team, which is very interesting. Why does this mission? Why is this mission the way it is? Because a lot of other stages, they either want you to collect something, destroy something, or get to a goal ring, but under certain circumstances. Whereas this one is just plain get from point A to point B kind of deal.
Ocean Palace Act 2, I see.
Yeah, Ocean Palace
a little different.
is probably, it's another stage like that, but you don't have a gold ring there, so.
Well, here we go. So far so good for both runners, no real problems that we've seen thus far. Nice movement so far from Pokemon Master. It's been, honestly, been a pretty impressive showing from both.
Yeah, they're playing both pretty well, and 30 seconds of difference is nothing, as we're just approaching mid-game.
Yeah, both wanting to put on a show to open up the tournament here.
Although Vintage did skip the flower there, which Pokemon Master decided to take, so that's gonna be a bit of time gained from Vintage.
I'll take the lead.
Let's go.
Nope.
Look out for that rhino.
Keep moving, boys.
Not too far left now. I've never really understood this part of the stage with the rhinos.
I'll take the lead.
Yeah, I don't feel like they pose any real threat, do they?
Well, I believe that if you switch to one of the rails where a rhino is, and if you go too fast, you can actually catch up
I see.
and get hit. But that's the only thing that can happen to you. Ooh. Oh, okay.
Coming over the top.
Pokemon Master gets across the
Yeah.
train.
was a little close
It always
there with
seems
the
like
iframe.
there's just. Oh, sorry.
Let's go.
What were you saying? Go ahead.
No, I was just saying it was a little close there with the invincibility frames.
Yeah, I was about to say that whenever I see runners just run across this train, it always scares me because it always seems like there's just not enough iframes to do that. But yeah,
Somehow we move. Pokemon Master finishes up.
Perfect.
Finishing with a
Alright,
3
now
out of
let's
3,
see.
really solid.
Professionals.
Vintage.
Did you-
I'm not sure if Vintage messed up here, or is it just he preferred to take a safer sort of strat here. But normally you're supposed to trigger a bunch of switches to make the rails.
Oh, we're fine.
Oh,
Are we?
oh.
Yeah, we're okay.
Okay.
A little bit more time saved there for Pokemon Master, extending the lead about 20 seconds or so. And now we come to Bullet Station, where the objective is to destroy all these capsules for some reason. Never quite understood why.
Well, not all of them actually, but I believe like for extra mission there are 50 or 60. I can't remember.
I'm more wondering what the purpose is. When I screw gravity belly flop there, I'd like to see that. I'm down here taking care of this capsule. I know there's a little sort of skip that we can do here to bridge this gap using SBO. See if we're going to see the runners take care of it now. Maybe not. Maybe I'm thinking of something different. Yeah, so far a very solid start for Pokemon Master in this stage. Making our way through. See, they say they're weapons capsules, but they look exactly like the capsules that they keep Shadow in at the end of the game. So, and the start of the game, actually, I should say.
Well, I mean, to be fair, at the but yeah, to be fair, at the beginning of SA2 Dark Story, Eggman finds a similar capsule, believing that there should be like a weapon. So, you know, not wrong.
Interesting. That's a good point. I guess Shadow is a weapon.
Yeah.
Picking up a couple capsules here from the balloons as we move on.
It shot us quite a distance.
Not a whole lot of capsules left for Pokemon Master to crack on with now. With a 53-second lead in tow, it's looking very good. Don't get the skewed belly flop there, unfortunately.
The sex angle, as we all know it.
The sex angle.
Yeah. That's the name? I think.
That's the name. Oh,
Because we all
slowing down
are
a bit.
very
Come on
mature.
up. Coming on up to these platforms now to take care of those two extra ones.
So this one is gonna, yeah, actually, Vector's hitbox extends just far enough to destroy that capsule that was behind the door. Normally you're supposed to sort of press the switch to open that door, but with that nice ground pound, we can just destroy it like that.
Yeah, just the 4 capsules left now for Pokemon Master. Very solid time making his way through Bullet Station. And no skewed belly flop for Vintage either, so doesn't look like there's going to be an awful lot of opportunity to save much time here from Vintage. Pokemon Master again putting out a very solid display there in Bullet Station.
Yeah, 3:29 is a solid time for sure.
Now we get to look forward to Egg Albi. Yeah, again, it's going to be a fair bit of time save here for Pokemon Masters, just executing the stages more optimally, really. Vintage isn't doing a whole lot wrong, but Pokemon Masters just been playing very well.
That must be. What do we do now?
Yeah, it's Sonic Heroes is definitely one of those games where like cleaner movement can get you so far. That is probably true for a lot of games, but Sonic Heroes is just more complex in that regard.
There we go. The Albatross boss, basically the Egghawk boss with some extra fluff. And by fluff I mean a giant balloon attached to the bottom of it that can be a little bit of a tricky one to deal with at times. You see Pokemon Master here getting a little bit messed up here, but managing it quite well. Vintage does lose a bit of time. It's going to put him about a minute behind, if not more so at this point. So looking good for Pokemon Master, yeah, minute 20.
That'll That'll shut him up for a while.
See if Vintage can maybe make up a little bit of ground here in the Egg Albatross boss fight. Might be an opportunity. As we come into Frog Forest. Similar to Egg Fleet that I mentioned earlier, we've got a stealth mission here. Going to be making use of Espio's invisibility ability.
Not a whole lot of it, though. I believe
No?
that it will actually be used, like, at the end of the stage, because those frogs that they are supposed to avoid, they're surprisingly blind. Like, they have a very, very, very narrow range of vision, really. So you can just sneak up behind a lot of times.
Interesting.
Let's go.
Like,
Making use of the
nice
paws
pausing.
here. Keep Espio on the ground.
So right there, like Pokemon Master just walked in front of that frog and just it did nothing. So yeah.
They have a little trouble seeing. Alright, comes of age. I need glasses too.
Here we go.
Let's go. Let's go.
Very scary jump. Coming right here for Pokemon Master. Beautifully done. That
Really nicely done, yeah.
jump is really scary. This is like the thing with Sonic Heroes is that
Here we go.
like you jump across a lot of gaps, and you know I've seen a lot of runs of this game, and I've done a few myself, although not for this team and not for this version. But like every time someone just jumps across a gap like that, it looks incredibly scary.
Yeah, looking really good. Very solid again from Pokemon Master, putting up a very good display. Interested to know what kind of pace we're looking at here, if it were possible, but I guess we're not really going to know.
What's that?
Enemies up ahead.
Meanwhile, Vintage coming up behind. So far so good in Frog Forest for him in this early minute. Yeah, making his way through very nicely as Pokemon Master, no issues whatsoever there. Vintage just picking up that extra fly level,
Perfect. The work of
and that
professionals.
checkpoint maybe for a bit of safety. Vintage not doing the skip, actually, I noticed there. Opting to fly up a little bit higher onto the rail, going to lose a little bit more time than Pokemon Master. So again, it's these little optimizations, these little extra things that Pokemon Master's doing that Vintage is just leaving out. That's kind of just adding up to the total here. And meanwhile, we're off to Lost Jungle with Pokemon Master, going to collect 10 Chow, doing another backtrack strat at the start of the stage with the flower.
Here we go.
Pick up a couple of Chow
Yeah.
before moving on.
Yeah, this part, like this giant kind of tree structure, whatever it's called, it has 7 chows here. So that's, and we need 10. So that's huge.
Yeah. We did see Vintage, I think, I might be going crazy, but I think saved just a sliver of time in Egg Albatross. We take a death there, but that's actually intentional to put ourselves back at the start of the stage. And we can just continue moving forward now.
And the remaining 3 chows are very close to the start of the stage. So there are like 2 of them just right here. It's very interesting decision.
Yeah, Pokemon Master taking care of that cleanly. Vintage just kind of had his work cut out for him in each of the stages. Not really had much ground to work with. The Pokemon Master is allowing. In fact, I'd quite like to just check Pokemon Master's deltas real quick. Pokemon Master, according to the splits that they are comparing against, currently a minute 24 ahead with a whole host of golds in there as well.
Yeah, Pokemon
So-
Master has been playing really, really well so far.
Absolutely, yeah. While the Team Rose on our screen actually at this current time. Well, Team Rose, Matt. Oh, no, we're okay. All planned.
Yep.
Well,
Another
Team Rose
threat
result
there.
between these two was an upset. Pokemon Master is not looking to let that trick repeat itself at the very least, because the firm favorite, making it look that way at the moment, as Vintage wraps up those 7 Chow. His way back to the start.
Talk about a huge misunderstanding. Yeah, sure made
Just
fools
2
out
more
of
chows
you.
for Vintage.
You, Vector.
Okay.
What? You were the first one to jump at the chance.
Well, making our way into Hang Castle now. The first time we do actually see someone about a split ahead. It is only Team Rose, so it's not a very big split. But we got 10 keys to take care of, tracking down in Hang Castle. One of the coolest stages just in the game in general. Especially the soundtrack. Love Hang Castle.
Yeah,
Here we go.
it's a cool stage for sure.
Here we go.
Yeah, you need to collect 10 keys here, and interestingly enough, I believe this is like the only collect-a-thon kind of mission where you need to get every single object. So like you can't miss a single key, but luckily, of course, our runners they know they know every single
able
location.
to miss torches in Mystic Mansion?
Nope.
Oh, there you go. Well, this pair of stages then. These are the fun ones.
Again.
Yeah, we'll get to Mystic Mansion very soon, and that is gonna be interesting to see.
Thank you.
You can't miss an enemy. Yes, that's true, but in terms of like collecting stuff, I guess, technically you're not destroying anything.
You're making a
I'm just
number
being
go,
technical.
so I guess it
Here we
counts.
go.
Oh.
That robot has massive healing power. And
We are collecting the dead bodies.
robot when
That's
it
what we're
takes
doing.
over. So be very careful.
Anyway, Grand Metropolis. Hang
Hang
Castle,
Castle.
that's where we are.
That's the stage.
Let's go.
This is the stage. So far, so good from Pokemon Master. I feel like I've been saying that the whole way through, because that has been the story of the day. Pokemon Master has really shown next to no signs of slowing down. Playing really, really well.
Now,
Now it doesn't have an entry.
Pokemon Master is about to finish the stage, and to finish the stage, there is actually a really funny trick. That is Team Chaotix only, called the Infinite Flight Glitch. And the deal with this trick is that Vector is the only character in the game that has actual hitbox that you can sort of stand on.
Here we go.
And this is what Pokemon Master is trying to do. There it is. So if you land on Vector while you're sort of thunder shooting the characters, you can reset your flight meter and reset the height that you gain from the flight, and just essentially skip a nice little bit of platforming. Like normally you're supposed to flip the gravity switch a few times, climb the tower, but it's
Yeah,
not a
absolutely.
necessity.
Pokemon Master making it work there. Pretty commanding lead at this point. Going to be looking at probably 2 minutes once Hang Castle wraps up. Unless Vintage can really pull something out of the bag, which would put Pokemon Master on a very good pace to be walking away with this win. And because obviously we're looking at Swiss pools, that would mean that we'd be looking at 2 opponents from across the rest of the pool who we don't quite know for sure who they're going to be yet. But yeah, these runners' next games will be decided
Now-
once the other games
Oh,
take
let's
place.
go Pokemon Master with really good RNG. So, in this stage, Mystic Mansion, we need to put out 6 direct torches. Now, with level 3 Espo, level 3 Espo actually has wind physics, which allows us to put out those torches by just homing attacking them with level 3 SPO. With level 0, 1, and 2, we have to tornado those torches. So when you destroy a certain enemy in this stage, there is a 50-50 between SPO and Charmy, which level up you get. And getting SPO's level up is incredibly, it's so much faster. So right here, Pokemon Master already has level 3 SPO, and that is gonna just allow him to finish this stage really quickly. There is a backup if in case you get unlucky, but luckily Vintage does not need it. So if you don't have level 3 SPO, you will have to put out every single torch in this corridor, which Vintage is in right now, and there are quite a few torches in this area. So imagine just tornadoing every single one of them. Pokemon Master gets SPO level up as well from that enemy. So both runners get very good RNG, and it will actually be more or less fair to compare their stages.
Yeah, I think we've got the two sides confused there, unfortunately. Pokemon Master is on the left and Vintage on the right. But yeah, the fact is what you're saying is very correct. That level.
Let's go. Here we go.
Here we go. Here we go.
Who knows what could happen if you trigger this switch?
Hey! Take care of the fat guy first.
Here we go.
Thank you.
Here we go. Let's go. Here we go. Let's go. I failed.
I'll take the lead.
Here we go.
I'll take the. Here we go. It's a giant spider web.
Should we grind on it to cross over?
I'll take the lead.
Let's go. Here we
I'll
go.
take the lead.
Proceed with caution and be careful not to fall.
Let's go.
Ooh.
Oh. Might be coming back.
If you press that switch up there, something bad might happen.
Oh.
right?
Oh, maybe? What?
Oh,
I
we're
think we're
back.
back.
There you are.
What are you singing about?
Okay, I think we are back indeed. Chat seems to be confirming that we are back. Sorry about dropping there. I think just had a little crash. But yeah, as you were saying, level 3 SPO, very important. Both runners actually picking it up here. So that works out quite nicely as we see Pokemon Master finish up Mystic Mansion there. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see too much of it, but that's okay.
Feet.
It did come through on stream, so that's all that matters. Vintage,
Dude.
gonna have to make up some ground here.
To be fair, Pokemon Master got to 423, which is like a very solid time.
Yeah, we're getting towards the tail end of things here now, so it's just Robot Storm, and then we're off to the Egg Fleet stages, right?
Mhm.
Pokemon Master in a very good position. And should Pokemon Master win this, that means that they'll be facing the winner of match D3, which is going to be between Strawberry Jam and Must Include, so could be looking at Pokemon Master versus Strawberry Jam, could be looking at Pokemon Master versus Must Include. Keep an eye on that one, because that's going to be coming up in a couple of days. In fact, it's coming up tomorrow. And the loser of this, if it is to be Vintage, loser of D1 will be facing the loser of that match, actually.
Open the case. Secure the item
But we're going to be seeing a couple of team blasts here in the robot storm, I can imagine, right?
I believe there was just one at the end. No, actually two at the very last arena here. But the rest is just oh my god, very close call for Pokemon Master there, but luckily he managed to jump out of that damage. Yeah, this is sort of another kind of robot wave thingy. So both runners will be looking for good RNG here. Vintage, not. Oh, I'm so sorry. Pokemon Master is looking nicely here. Maybe level 3 Vector would be a little better for this particular wave, but the rest of the characters are fully powered up. 506 from Vintage. Yeah, that's a minute 20 of difference.
Ugh, that's pretty nasty, and that is going to knock that lead all the way up to 2.5 minutes. Pokemon Master with a commanding stretch, looking very well set to come away with this win. But you never know, anything can happen in those last couple of stages. I've always loved the way SBO's head bops up and down in the Team Blast animation. It was just moving. And this is one of my favorite things, just seeing a powered up flight character just blitz through these flying enemies. Feels like popping bubble wrap.
Yeah, so this wave in particular, it's very useful to have a level 3 flight character, but luckily it's very unlikely that you don't have, not level 3, level 2, yeah, it's very unlikely that you don't get to power cores by that point. Like, the game devs intended you to like sort of use the cannon as power character and shoot all of those flying enemies, but it's just so much faster to use Charmy.
Yeah, it definitely works out. See another Team Blast here coming out from Pokemon Master. Neat little thing, kind of useless for speedruns, but Team Chaotix's Team Blast gives you a ring box, basically, for every enemy you destroy. So you do tend to finish up this level with a large amount of rings.
Meanwhile, Vintage is getting a little more lucky, because I believe that by this point, Pokemon Master didn't have level 2 Charmy. So Vintage is going to be saving quite a bit of time there. And I believe Vintage is actually like having a bit of an advantage here. Not having level 3 Vector yet, which would be beneficial for this wave, but
yeah, level 3 is the one where he spits out exploding gumballs, right? Yeah, very helpful. Pokemon Master was on absolute killer pace here, to be honest. Like, if I go and look at his deltas on the timer right now, we're currently looking at minus 131. We were minus 153 leaving Mystic Mansion. So that can tell you all you need to
just
know.
Unlucky.
Now it's time for Egg Fleet. This iconic intro cutscene.
It's a very, very scary stage. Like at the higher level, we're gonna be seeing a lot of very funky movement.
Yeah, it's another stealth stage.
Yes, that is true. So normally you're supposed to avoid all of the enemies here, but it's kind of the same deal as in Frog Forest, where you can just walk in front of some of those enemies and they just don't notice you.
Yeah, the enemies ain't too smart. They're a little confused, but they got the spirit.
True.
It's really love the aesthetic of the stage. For some reason, these like yellow, pipey ride rails have always been fun to me. It's like they took Skydeck from Sonic Adventure 1 and just did it better somehow.
Oh my god. Pokemon Master missed the rail, but thankfully there is a platform that you can land on. Scary stuff. Gonna be seeing another. Oh, got ground exiled, unfortunately, but gonna be seeing him running on the side of the ship. Very impressive looking, but also it's incredibly scary to look at.
Effective soaring through the air with the bubble gun.
Oh,
Just,
unfortunately, Pokemon. Oh, he got spotted by the
Oh!
enemy.
Okay, there's a little bit of time lost. Feels like that's the first real mistake of the run. That's about 28 seconds down the drain for Pokemon Master.
Yeah, it's unlucky because what we haven't talked about is that if you do get spotted, you get it's the game essentially treats that as a death, and you get sent to the last checkpoint. So yeah, not something you wanna happen.
Yeah, something that we're also seeing there, just to quickly point out. We've talked about the belly flop into the speed character to get that burst of speed earlier, but also seeing Pokemon Master doing a belly flop into the flight character, which actually gives you a nice burst of height as well. Making use of that to get over some higher ledges and in some parts just go over the walls that you're meant to go around entirely. Works out quite nice. There we go, we finish up. Egg Fleet recovering from that little blip. Might be a chance for Vintage to make some time back, but might also be a case of too little too late at this point.
Yeah, unfortunately I don't think that
Ninja power.
there is enough room for catching up.
Unless some disaster strikes in Final Fortress, but would hate to see that.
We honestly don't want to see because like even despite that time loss, Pokemon Master still must be ahead by quite a bit. So you know, it would be nice to see.
Still got an Egg Fleet to go through of his own here. And similar to, I believe it was, what was the Hang Castle, that's right. Got a couple of keys to collect here, but Final Fortress, not a very long stage from what I can recall for Team Chaotix. Pretty speedy one.
Yeah, it's pretty short, and we kind of oh no, Pokemon Master missed the jump. Oh, that's unfortunate.
That's an well. Another little bit of time loss.
And
he missed the key. Just wonder if the sort of pace pressure is maybe adding up a little bit. Don't want to see him fumble it too badly, but we'll have a look now.
Funnily enough, in Final Fortress, like the runners still kind of do a bit of backtracking in a way, but not really. So like this upper path is I believe you're supposed to be here after you like reach the very end of the stage and you get teleported like all the way up there, but with some clever movement we can just reach that higher path.
Pokemon Master breaking out Team Blast there to quickly make work of this larger enemy. Looking good now as we collect the 4th or 5th keys. And see if Vintage saved any time there in Egg Fleet. Yeah, it did save a little bit, around about 16 seconds. But Pokemon Master is looking like we're home and dry. Just need to switch on a little bit then, nearly fell off the side of the rail. Where are we going?
Oh man.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so normally you're supposed to like shoot Vector from the cannon and like destroy some otherwise indestructible
Be on guard.
blocks that
And prepare
hide the switch and like activate the fan and sort of glide all the way up. But if you activate that pole and then grab it as Charmy instead of Esper, you can just hop off of the top of that pole and then just fly up to that platform.
Yeah, we saw Pokemon Master there take around about 50 seconds of time loss on their current comparison, so we're looking at still PB paced by about 40 seconds, but unfortunate time loss there for Pokemon Master.
Beware my ninja power.
Enough of this! SBO Charmy, Victor! Time to meet your maker!
Well, Vintage here making his way through Final Fortress. But all that stands between Pokemon Master and taking the win in this first game of the tournament is Egg Emperor at this point.
Can be a very... Oh no!
Uh-oh.
Pokemon missed the power core.
Oh,
That is...
not like this.
Oh man,
Oh, no.
the meltdown.
Come on, clutch it out, Pokemon Master. We can do this. There's that Flight Power Core. Egg Emperor, pretty similar for
There it
three,
is.
four teams, I should say. Locks the character into place with Charmy's Thunder Shoot. That's looking pretty good.
Fortunately, not enough for one cycle here. Takes
Oh,
a death.
No, Pokemon Master!
Oh no!
Oh,
But
that is
why?
gut-wrenching. As that does snatch away the PB and another one. Oh, Pokemon Master. Oh my god, yeah, Vintage is here.
Oh, no.
Oh my word!
No!
The PB is gone. The PB is gone. Where are we at right now? Because... Okay, there's the second. Pokemon Master needs to get this out quick.
One
Okay,
cycle.
there we go. Oh, that is the most tragic of finishes you could ask for, because Pokemon Master loses a massive PB in the last couple of splits,
I'm gonna hurt
but
you.
still comes away with the win. You should think. I would definitely think so. Even if Vintage can close that gap a bit here.
We'll
But
have
oh
to
my
see.
words. GG's
Because-
Pokemon Master, but commiserations there as well. That is really unfortunate.
Yeah, GG. But we'll have to wait until the file timer shows up, because Vintage is playing on emulator, so I think he might have a bit of an advantage in terms of load times.
I'm pretty sure the win is pretty comfortably Pokemon Masters for sure. But yeah, definitely a disappointing result for Pokemon Master. Finishing out, look at that, ahead for almost the entire run. Golds galore, and then Egg Emperor and Final Fortress, maybe to a lesser extent, snatch it away. That's really tough to see. But GG's nevertheless on seemingly taking the win, we would think. Vintage, meanwhile, though, it looks like we did get the PB. So, we've almost got a trade-off. You can either PB or win the race. Which one do you want? Pokemon Master said, I'll take the win. Vintage said, yeah, sure, I'll have a PB, thank you. But GG's to both. For
Yeah,
kicking off the
GG's.
tournament in style, if nothing else. But wow, I'm imagining both will probably have some feelings after that one.
For sure.
Black Doom, what do you make of what we've just seen?
That was a race, I'll say that much. It's really unfortunate for Pokemon Master, but great for content, I guess.
Yeah, these two have definitely put on some shows. You know, we definitely got a grand finish there. That was almost a late comeback there from Vintage, but just about narrowing it out. Interested to see what the final times are. By the Sound Defense's estimations, I should say, it's about a minute 10 victory for Pokemon Master. Looks like we're going to be getting Vintage in here shortly, I think. But, yeah, wow. What a way to kick things off. Definitely had us scared there at the end. Sit through these credits. We await the final file timer. Yeah, we're going to wait until then. Might be getting Vintage in here. Yes, we are. Hello, Vintage
Hello.
McNugget. What an interesting set of events we just saw. How are you feeling?
I'm doing good. I'm on my phone, so if I sound shitty, that's why. Discord was opening on my phone, and I don't really feel like messing that up with the PV.
I
So
feel like, yeah, we've come away with a PV there, but it was
I'm
getting a little
curious
bit
how
closer.
I'm curious how big of a PV it is because I don't start my timer when Drum told me to start my timer, so I started it earlier. Like, I don't usually start my timer until I fall down in Seaside Hill. So this should be a bigger PB than it looks. It should be about a little under a minute, I want to say. So that's cool.
Yeah, we're looking at a very, very strong performance from both of you. But
Yes.
Pokemon Master, nothing but commiserations, really, because that was a tragic finish.
I mean, this kind of goes back to, because I was watching it, this kind of goes back to when I threw during the Rose tourney. It's like vice versa this time, though.
Almost. But Pokemon
Almost.
Master, you have still come away with the win, but that's got to be
Yeah.
disappointing, right?
I didn't watch the thing as I went. No, I'm not disappointed at all.
Oh,
I've been playing the practice. I've been playing like at a really good level. It's just a matter of getting the run together, and so it doesn't really matter for me that I choked or whatever. I failed pretty bad the last two levels. I wasn't really focusing on getting like a new record. I was just focusing on trying to win. So that's fine. I know why it happened. So if there's some other things I have to sort out.
You
Yeah, it was
played
fun.
really well.
absolutely.
You
played
played really
fantastic.
well, and I'm actually shocked I was able to keep up as well as I could, honestly. So, but you
course.
played extremely well, and I was neck and neck in the beginning, but you just started taking seconds and seconds and seconds away from me, and I was like, I just can't. I couldn't do it, but it was really good nonetheless.
Yeah, absolutely.
GT is.
I think my worst day was probably Mystic Mansion. Mystic Mansion, I just played pretty bad there.
Yeah, early
Yeah.
days for you with this category then, I guess, is it? Because you say that, but you've still come away with gold, so I imagine probably haven't dipped too much into Team Chaotix LTS thus far, have you?
I think I started I did a couple days or so of streams in middle of June, and that was it. Then I
Let's
started
go 50-29.
Then I started practicing earlier this week, of course, but that's pretty much it for me.
There you go, so Vintage with 50-29. Are we able to see your file timer, Pokemon Master?
Yeah, there we go.
It should be coming up any second now on our screen. $50-29 for Vintage and a $49-29, basically a complete minute victory, so GG's.
Yeah, so it's gonna be nice to watch this again. I didn't get to see Vincent's run, so it'll be nice to see this. And
I'm so happy with that run. I'm very
Yeah, I
happy.
bet you are.
I'll take a minute. What was my
Okay.
previous CD? I don't remember. What was it? I gotta go back. I think it's a 51. Yeah, I think it's the 51-51 or whatever. I think
Yeah,
it's
well, GG's to both of you. It's obviously a pretty solid start for the two of you, putting down some very good times to kick things off. Your
got a
next
couple
opponents, Pokemon Master, you're going to be facing the winner of Strawberry Jam or Must Include in your next race. Sometime later on in this week, I suppose. And Vintage, you'll be facing the loser of that race. So, Swiss Pools being Swiss Pools, that's going to be an interesting one. We'll have to wait and see who you're both playing. But is there anybody out of those two who you'd kind of like to take on? I'll ask Pokemon Master first.
yeah, I don't really know if you must include too well. Strawberry Jam, I lost to in the first round of the last tournament, so I'd like to have a chance to get back to even 1-1. So that'd be nice. But whoever I could play, it's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Must include. It would be very fun. I think I could do it. I would like to, so I can stay in the tourney. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, well, it's going to be interesting. Must include a new sort of face on the block for heroes, so it's going to be pretty cool however that matchup ends out. But yeah, GG's to both of you. Especially GG well, I wouldn't say especially, but GG to Vintage on the PB, GG to Pokemon Master on the win. Unless anybody has anything else left to say, I think we're probably just about wrapped up here.
Yeah, no, that was a blast. I had fun. I'm glad I kept up.
Good job. I had fun too. Hopefully next one will go better for me. But yeah, it was fun.
So yeah, for now we are going to be going offline. Next match is going to be coming up later on in the day at 6 p.m. Eastern. That's going to be between Big Mikey and Matty XD kicking off Group C, one of the round robin pools. So look forward to that one. That's going to be a hell of a match. But yeah, for the time being, that means that I think we might be looking at raiding Stasis sides for a practice room.
Maybe
That's
I'll
an
have to
idea,
play-
but I'm unsure whether we're doing that or just raiding. There's not really many people online playing the Adventure Era right now, should be said. So
I'll play sides. If people want sides, I'll play sides for a little bit before work.
yeah, we could switch over to sides. That could definitely be a plan, but yeah. So for now, we're going to be heading off, and we'll be back in, I guess, around about 4 hours or so. I can't tell time zones. I'm about 4.5 hours. But yeah, for the time being, we'll sign off there. Thank you both. Thank you, Black Doom, for hopping on comms with me, and thank you everybody for tuning in to this opening match. Hope to see you back for more later in the week. Take care, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.